Hey guys, welcome back to Libro Review. I have been very nice and I'm sending a lot of hugs and positivity to all of you. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you 6 tips to get rid of social media addiction and read more. I really hope these tips help you. They're very basic yet very powerful tips. Though at the end of the day, it is really dependent on you whether you prioritize good habits like reading over social media addiction or social media use or not. But these tips will be very helpful. Let's begin the video. The first tip is actually the most difficult yet the best tip that I can give you. Every single time you're picking up your phone or every single time you're about to start binging on a show, especially when you have already watched it before, it happens a lot with me. I've already watched Friends, but I keep watching it again and again. Every single time you're about to do it, ask yourself one question: is this really what I want? It is very important for you to be mindful and ask this question to yourself in the beginning itself. Once you start with the binging, once you start with the scrolling on social media, it becomes very difficult to stop. Our attention is completely grasped by whatever we are watching or whatever we are consuming. So to be mindful after you have started becomes very difficult, which is why you have to ask this question to yourself before you begin: is this what I really want? When you wake up in the morning, I do this all the time. If you see yourself reaching out for your phone, I see myself reaching out for my phone. When I am doing it, the question pops in my head: is this what I really want? Mind you, my work is on the phone, and I understand that a lot of your jobs may be on the phone or a lot of your work may be on the phone, but you still have to ask this question to yourself. The answer can be a yes or a no, because when I'm picking it up for work, I go ahead with it. But I know the real answer for myself. You will know the real answer for yourself. Is that what you really want? If the answer is no, just keep the phone. Don't think about it. Don't try to give yourself any kind of justification. Just keep your phone away. Okay, I'm actually editing the video right now and I came up with this idea of a tip that will really help you at this point. So you've picked up your phone, you know the answer is no, it is not going to help you. What do you do next? You use the 5-second rule by Robbins, which is you count from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it. You just keep your phone away. It's launch mode after 1. There is nothing you can do after 1. You made a decision that it's not going to be helpful. There is no excuse you can give to yourself. At 1, you can do nothing but keep your phone away. This is the 5-second rule by Robbins. It's an amazing book too if you want to check it out, and I think it can be very helpful over here. Whenever you see yourself about to pick up your phone right before sleeping, ask yourself: is this what I want? Is this actually going to be helpful for me? You will know the real answer. It will come from within. Listen to it, keep your phone and read a book. The second tip, which will help the first tip, is knowing what you actually want to read instead of guessing.
Let's see what I can read today.
If you do not know what you want to read, it becomes very difficult for your brain to understand, okay, yeah, like this is what I want to do. As soon as it becomes difficult for your brain, and it is so much easier to pick your phone, not do anything, not think anything, and start scrolling, your brain will push you to pick up your phone. A few things that you can do to know what you're reading is: number 1, you can make a reading list. I made a reading list recently. With work and shifting, I really lost track of what I'm supposed to be reading. So even though I did have some opportunities where I could pick up a book and start reading, I did not know what I should be reading, and I did not have the capacity to actually think about it, which is why it was so much easier for me to just open my laptop and start binging on a series, or just pick up my phone and start scrolling. I have done this myself, which is why I am telling you, make a reading list. Which is the book you want to read first thing in the morning? Which is the book you want to read before you go to sleep? In the morning, which book is energizing you? At night, which book is helping you have a calm sleep? Think about it a little bit. It will take 10 to 15 minutes. Make a reading list. Number 2, you can put the book on your nightstand or wherever you're, like near your bed, so that when you wake up in the morning, it is easily accessible. When you go to bed, it is easily accessible. Your book has to be as easily accessible as your phone. And number 3, when you're going outside, if you're taking the bus, if you're taking the metro, you know that you have like time when you're commuting, or you're going for a dentist appointment, you know that you'll have to wait. If you're going to a parlor, you know you have to wait. Stuff like that. always carry one book with you so that again you make the book accessible for you and you're able to read more. It is also a tip that you can keep social media away from you. So like you're making books accessible, you can make social media or your phone not accessible. However, it doesn't really work for me personally, because when my phone is away from me, at that time I am even more curious as to what is going on in my phone, what notifications I'm getting, what if I get a call, stuff like that. So I keep my phone near me only, but I do make reading or any other good habit that I want to make accessible more, like way more accessible than my phone, and it helps me to not keep wondering what is going on in my phone and focus on reading. The third tip is set reading goals, have a reading journal, and create some sort of pressure on your head that you have to read these amount of books. I am usually always against creating any kind of pressure when it comes to reading. You should always read for leisure, but when you're fighting an addiction and you've made it all accessible and you know what to do, you have to be accountable, and to be accountable you have to create some sort of pressure on your mind, and that accountability, that pressure comes from maintaining a reading journal or nothing else. Just have a reading goal. I want to read 4 books this month, I want to read 2 books this month, no matter what, and stick to that reading goal no matter what. Like, just become obsessive with it and read whenever you can. It's going to be a little difficult when you're fighting the addiction, for sure. Maybe you won't enjoy reading as much, but like working out, when you just start working out, it is so difficult, but you just have to stick to it for some time and then it just becomes easier for you. The same thing will happen with reading. It will be a little difficult in the beginning, but if you just stick to it, it will become much easier. Number 4 is something for your knowledge, and that knowledge is that you are not missing out on anything if you're not using social media. You are not missing out on anything if you are not instantly watching a show. Why I'm saying this is because I always had this FOMO. Like, I have to see the stories of the creators that are posting, like, that I love. I have to see what content is going on. I have to see what content is trending. I have to like scroll through so that I can get my juices flowing, creative juices flowing, and come up with ideas and stuff like that. Otherwise, I'm missing out on something. This is the mindset that I had, but with the help of the previous tips, this is one thing that I had to tell myself: I am not missing out on anything. You don't really miss a lot. If there is a show that has come out and you love it so much and you can't resist it, I do have another tip for you. But before we get to that tip, that show is still going to be there. It is not going to vanish. The whole point of a message or a mail is that you can respond to it whenever you feel comfortable. You don't instantly have to respond to it. When you know that you're not missing out on anything, it becomes so much easier to stay away from your phone and focus on reading, because you know that it's there. Like, your show is still there. Let me complete my reading goal. Let me read this much for now and I can get back to it. The next tip when it comes to the series or even social media is you actually set out a proper amount of time for your series, movies, or social media. I am not going to tell you that stop watching series or stop watching movies or don't use your phone. If you follow me on Instagram, you will know I watch a ton of movies. I watch so many series. I go to the theater also to watch movies. Even though reading is such a big part of my life, I am in no way missing out on any other kind of content. Content is content. It should be consumed. You should be able to enjoy all types of content there is in this entire world. Set a time for yourself. For example, at night, you don't have to read. At night, take your time, have a movie night, or watch the series that you are watching. Just read for 10 to 15 minutes before going to sleep instead of scrolling on your social media. Have set time for your social media also. If you try to restrict yourself from any kind of content, you will want to consume it a lot. Therefore, we are going for moderation in all types of content over here. Just prioritizing reading a little bit with the help of my previous tips. Last but not the least, if it is very difficult for you to read and you keep getting distracted by notifications or whatever it is, I suggest you start reading physical books first and then move on to audiobooks or ebooks in your phone, because when you're already so used to it, there is a huge possibility that you are going to open that notification once it comes if you're listening to an audiobook. I love audiobooks and ebooks. They are so nice and they are so good. Audiobooks can actually be helpful to read more. If you forget to take a book outside and it's not accessible for you, you have audiobooks for you. So in those situations, it's amazing. But when you are at home and you're already dealing with these notification issues, I suggest you start reading with physical books where you will have no distraction whatsoever and you can just focus on reading. And once reading becomes a good habit for you and you first of all, reading will just consume you, okay? Once you become a reader, it's a whole other world. Once you get into that world, it will become very easy for you to actually focus on reading. It actually becomes very difficult to focus on anything else. And that's it, you guys. All the tips are very, very interrelated. They are very, very simple, but they're very difficult to do. So don't be too hard on yourself. I am very, very sure that you will make some kind of progress. If you did enjoy this video, please do share it as much as possible on social media. That's it. I'll see you guys very, very soon. If you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe, bell button. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.